Good evening, everybody from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and good afternoon from New York. I'm with Howard Tiersky, and I'm very glad he joins me on our daily talk about helping people to thrive mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and in business during these demanding times. And as you guys know, I invite people that I look up to as human beings and as specialists in their certain area. And Howard is no exception from, as he's an amazing, successful entrepreneur who has been named by IDG as one of the 10 digital transformation influencers to follow today, and by Enterprise Management 360 Degrees as one of the top 10 digital transformation influencers that will change your world. And he's the co-author of the best-selling book Impactful Online Meetings, and it's the founder of two companies that enable large brands to win in the digital world. It's from the Digital Transformation Agency and Innovation Loft. So you have the from and the loft. Really cool. So from helps companies grow revenue across digital channels and has created many award-winning web and mobile products for shopping, banking, that's my thing, travel and entertainment. And Innovation Loft is New York City's most unique corporate workshop space that uses a proprietary methodology to bring teams together to maximize creativity and alignment. And Howard's dozen of Fortune 1000 clients have included Verizon, NBC, Nutrisystem, Viacom, Avis, Universal Studios, Amazon, NFL, Facebook, Spotify, and the list go on and on and on. And it's good to know prior to starting his own business 12 years ago, Howard spent over 15 years in the corporate world with Capgemini, one of the world's leading consulting firms, where he was one of the founders of their global digital practice. So you're kind of grandfather here. And Howard speaks regularly at major industry conferences and has served on the faculty of the New York University Interactive Telecommunications Program, frequent contributor to the CIO magazine. Oh, thank you so much, Howard, for taking time and to invest to help people from different countries go digital, because digital is on, you know. Um, my son, my children were study from home, and the phone became a leverage point for between me and my son. So I use the phone as a leverage for him to do certain things. And I was reading in your last book, Winning Digital Customers, that 50% of the Americans would skip their holiday rather than relinquish their phones. So
Yeah.
we are on, right?
Yes. Well, there's an even better study that was done, I think, in Boston, and it said that something like 75% of women in Boston would give up sex for a year rather than give up their phones.
Oh, really?
And of course,
Okay.
begs the question whether that says more about
What's
women of Boston versus the men
I
of
wouldn't say, and I can go deeper, but
But
it's
yeah,
not the purpose of this.
clearly
So
our. Go ahead.
we are in the digital. We are on. So on the other hand, there's you mentioned some studies. KPMG mentioned a study that 84% of companies have embarked on digital transformation. But Forbes comes with another study and says that what was it? Sorry, 96% was embarked on the digital transformation, but 84% failed. So why does the digital transformation fail?
Yeah, well, first of
And
all,
what needs to be done, of course?
right, yeah. Well, I think the good news is today, I think most companies see that some form of digital transformation is absolutely essential. And
Yeah.
before I talk about failure, let me just say some have been super successful. We look at companies like Walmart, Federal Express, and UPS. We see many examples of companies that have rolled out very successful efforts to deploy massive new digital capabilities to their customers. So what's great is
Yeah.
there was a time when like the only companies that were really successful or Facebook and Google and Amazon and Uber and all companies that if you're sitting in the perspective of say a big company, like, well, sure, these are all sort of digitally native companies. But
we kind of lose you speaking about digital transformation. I don't know, the Wi-Fi, it's kind of tricky in the.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
That's I'm sorry about that. Okay. Well,
okay, go ahead.
just
Go ahead.
yeah, I don't know. But the point is, there's also a lot of success. So, certainly one of the things that we're always looking at is, okay, well, what causes the success? And then, as you asked, where are the problems? What causes the challenges and the failures? Because our job as working with companies is to help them figure out what's that path to success. So, so let me talk for a minute about what causes success. I think there's many things. And I know you asked me what causes failure, but a lot of what causes failure is the absence of the principles that cause success. So
let's go. I was about to start with failure to end on the positive, but you go ahead and you just roll it.
Well,
rock and roll, go.
Yeah. Well, look, here's how we look at any kind of business success. The vast majority of all value to a business comes from only one thing. And that one thing is driving customer behavior. Now, I said the vast majority. There are other things. For example, getting your employees to be more efficient. There are other things. But the vast majority is driving customer behavior. Because if your customer is doing what you want them to do, they're buying when you want them to buy, they're buying your more premium products, they are renewing their products, and they're also not doing things that you don't want them to do. They're not canceling their subscriptions. They're not posting bad reviews of you online. In fact, they're posting good reviews of you online. They're not calling your support center and eating up hours of phone call center time that destroys the profitability of them as a customer. They're engaging in the behaviors that you want and not engaging in the behaviors that you don't want.
You don't want, yes.
That's it, right? And everything else is small scale relative to that.
Right. And what is driving customer behavior?
Right, exactly. So what does drive customer behavior? So I know you've read the book, what we talk about at some length in the book is behavior is driven by thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. That's what drives our behavior, right? So ideally, what you do as a business is you say, okay, if this is the behavior that I want from my customers, what are the thoughts and feelings and beliefs that will lead to that behavior?
Yes.
How do you know? How do you know what thoughts, feelings, and beliefs will lead to that behavior? And there's another question, which is, once you do know what thoughts, feelings, and beliefs
how do you influence
behavior, how do you get them to have those thoughts, feelings, and beliefs?
Yes.
So the answer to all of that is really just one thing, which is customer research. Customer research is at the heart of all successful digital transformation. Understanding who your customer is and what they want and need. Now, we've done a tremendous amount of customer research. And of course, the answer varies depending on if you're a bank, if you're a taco stand, if you're a personal shopping service, if you're an accountant, of course, it's not just.
If you're a small business owner.
Yes, although interestingly, a lot of small business, your customer is a small business owner. Is that what you mean? Yes, if you are, whoever your customer is, whether it's B2B or B2C, of course their needs vary. And so what we talk about in the book at some length is, so how do you go about studying those customers and really finding out what it is that they think and feel, what prompts those thoughts and feelings? Because the main thing that prompts thoughts and feelings is experiences. After all, think about the things that you think and feel on a daily basis. Why do you think and feel those things? They're either something is occurring that's causing you to think and feel those things, or things that occurred in the past that you've experienced that have given you beliefs and pre-existing, points of view about things that are generating your thoughts and feelings right now. If the last time I bought a car, I feel like the person ripped me off, then I'm going to have thoughts and feelings about that are going to influence the next time I go about the process of buying a car. If I feel like your brand ripped me off, or on the contrary, if I feel that I got a great deal, or I got great service or support, or if I heard from a friend that you took good care of them, these are all experiences that influence our behavior. So There's a lot of places that talk about the idea of you need to create your customer avatar. You need to understand who your customer is. It's very
You
wide.
call it persona, right?
Persona, yes. And I think those two terms are interchangeable, avatar, persona.
Yes.
It's creating a kind of, okay, I have three different types of customers, let's say, maybe a large business customer, a small business customer, and a consumer, let's say. And then for each of them, identifying, creating kind of a fictitious example customer. You give them a name. This is Sally. She runs her own hair salon. She uses my products and services. This is what she cares about. This is a profile of who she is. It's a way of helping people internalize, because you could give someone a 600-page PowerPoint deck with slides and facts and figures and graphs and data, but that's a little hard. And that's good stuff, by the way. We absorb that stuff like crazy. But in the end, when you want large numbers of people to understand who's the customer, you need something people can wrap their heads around quickly. So the point is that, sorry, just let me finish this thought, and then absolutely. The point is that, what we talk about a lot in the book and what we do a lot is, so how do you do that research to really understand that? Because a lot of people talk about the need for personas and avatars, a lot of books out there. One of the things we wanted to solve for in this book is to really get to, okay, if you're a team and you're like, well, how do I understand my customer? It's usually not just by getting a bunch of people in a conference room and saying, well, who's our customer? What do we know about them? It's rather through a whole bunch of techniques. Some of it involve going and talking to your customers. Some of them are about surveying your customers. Some of them are about talking to customer experts, the people in your organization who talk to customers all the time. And some of it's about looking at data. So we go into that in great detail in the book is, what are the steps you and your team can go through to really get a good understanding of the customer?
Yeah. So, Howard, are you still there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Awesome, because I'm kind of, I am very much at high level, first of all. So for people who join us later, maybe to understand, so what we are talking about a process that you propose or methodology in winning in the era of transformation. So becoming successful. Either you have products or services for small or big corporations, and you have a specific methodology and understand and a roadmap, if you like, and your understanding the customer is the step number one, right?
Yes.
Okay. And with this, you go and do various processes, right? Like research, direct, indirect, and you go.
Yes. We do, or you can do. Traditionally that is our business, right? Companies bring us in, many large companies, as you mentioned, bring us in. But part of the reason we wrote the book is because you don't have to hire an outside company to do it. Of course, it's great to have the expertise. And at the same time, I realize it's not applicable for many companies. And sometimes you want to do both. Because even if you have an outside company doing this kind of research, there's nothing like the people within your organization really understanding the customer. So you don't want to give all that fun only to outside companies. So it's really a tool to help any company say, it sounds like a good idea to understand the customer, but how exactly do I do that? But you're right, Kaylina, that's one step. And what the book talks about is essentially a 5-step process to achieve digital transformation.
Okay, so what are the main contributors to success, if you like, to winning the digital transformation?
Yeah, well, I think it starts with understanding the customer. It doesn't start with technology, you might have noticed, by the way. The first point isn't you need to upgrade your network, you need better servers, you need Salesforce.com. You may need those things. I'm for all those things. But that's not where you start. You start by understanding the customer. And then the second step that we go through in the book is journey mapping. Yeah. And journey mapping is simply the process of saying, well, first of all, what is the experience my customer has today? Do I really understand what my customer experiences today? And it's amazing to me how often we go and work with a company and they don't really fully understand. Of course, they have a general idea. Well,
yes.
It really is this process they go through. What points of pain do they experience along the way? That's not necessarily something that is well understood within an organization. So we have a whole process, and we talk about in the book as well, for going out and doing what we call a pain map. We break down what are all the stages of the buying life cycle, and very broadly, most buying life cycles have a certain period of you become aware of a product, you learn about it, you shop for it, you buy it, you use it, you possibly renew it, or depending on the type of product.
Yeah.
And we tailor those. For example, if you're renting a car, and one of our clients is a budget group, so please say a prayer for everybody in the entire travel industry in the middle of the coronavirus epidemic. It's a
Yes.
very challenging time. But of course, with renting a car, you have some more unique stages, right? Because you're going to reserve a car, and then you're going to pick up a car, and you're going to use the car, and you're going to drop off a car. But in any case, tailoring that process, understanding the current landscape and where people have pain at each of those steps. And we look at two types of pain when we look at pain. And we believe that all the opportunity to improve the customer experience comes from pain.
Yes.
Because very often, one way to improve the experience is simply to remove pain.
Yes.
And when we say pain doesn't necessarily manifest as the customer wincing or even blaming you. I mean, let's take Avis, for example, or any car rental company. If people show up and the line is long and you have to wait a long time to get your car, well, clearly that's pain, right? That's diminishing the customer's experience. And you want to try to figure out, what can you do about that? We've done a lot of work to try to help them speed the lines, remove people from the lines, all those types of things, right?
Okay. Number 3, what would be? So understand the customer, right?
Yeah. Well, map the journey, and then I know you're moving along. So I'm just going to say one more sentence about number 2, though, which is once you understand the current journey, then it's about defining what the future journey should be. So understand the current journey, but then what do you want that customer journey to be, and how can that journey really deliver both a better experience for the customer, but also a better result for you? So if we think back to those behaviors, the current journey is no doubt driving some customer behaviors, and probably some of them are good, or you wouldn't be in business right now. But it's probably also driving some bad behaviors, like attrition. So how do you envision a future state journey that is much better in terms of the customer and in terms of your business outcome? So that's the totality of number 2. Of course, I'm describing 100 pages in 2 sentences. But high level. Then you asked about number 3. So number 3 is to build that new journey. So once you've envisioned it, then, okay, it's one thing to have a big picture on the wall, to have a vision, to have a PowerPoint presentation, to even have a video that articulates, in the future, this will be the person's experience. That's critical. That's a starting point. But obviously, in and of itself, it doesn't change the experience. It's just a vision. So we use a process called design thinking, which is used widely by companies like Apple and Airbnb and many large companies and many innovative companies as well, to take vision and turn it into product. So design thinking weaves into it as well more customer research, because as you start to conceive of a specific solution, the customer research I talked about earlier is about understanding the pain, right? Understanding the customer and their needs. But what happens with design thinking is you start to say, hey, I have an idea about how to eliminate that pain. This would be a new product. This would be a new feature in my app. This would be a new service that I could provide. I think this will solve that problem.
Yes.
And so the problem with that is, and that's great to have those ideas, is, are you right? It's one thing to understand the problem. You got the problem right, but you might have the solution wrong. So part of what we do in design thinking is additional research, prototyping, testing, rapidly to test them and pilot them rapidly. So we really make sure that before we invest in substantial, launch of a new product or something significant, we've tested it to make sure that it really works for customers, at least as best as we can do in kind of, before it's out in the real market. And so,
Howard, try not to move yourself, because the line, we keep losing you. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's from you, but you're blurred. So let's move on. Blur or not.
Fair enough. So that's the third step, is to build it. And those 3 steps kind of exist as a fairly sequential thing, right? First, you understand the customer, then you create the vision, then you go through the process of building it. And of course, that process may take many years. But we have 2 parallel threads that we always want to be thinking about the whole time. They're sort of ongoing. So you start from the very beginning. The first, to optimize the current state. Optimize what you already have. See, because what I just talked about is a visionary process that may lead you to completely reinvent the way that you interact with your customer, the products, the services. In many cases, that's necessary today because of the magnitude of transformation in our society and in our customers' needs. as digital has become so central.
Yeah.
But that can take quite a while, many months, sometimes many years, depending on the scale of your operations. While that's going on, you still have the opportunity to go, well, wait a minute, we have these existing websites, mobile applications, and whatever they may be, and even though we may have a big vision of how we want to change them in the future, there's probably ways of letting our customer down right now. They might be even small things that we can go in and start to identify and fix one by one, right? And if you think about the journey and the vision is like an architect creating something totally new, building a whole new house. I think about optimization as you're the plumber. You're showing up at the existing house. You're not there to build a new house. You're there to find a leak and patch it or fix it or get some duct tape or whatever you can do.
Oh, Howard, we completely lost you.
Really?
I think that the system, I think so many people go live now on Facebook that it's just completely
I'm sorry. So what should we do?
What's happening, it's very difficult to understand what you're saying, and you're saying it's so amazing. So I was wondering, maybe it's, I don't know, can we reconvene maybe at a different hour in a different day, because it's so interesting what you are saying, but it's like we keep losing you.
Yeah. Well, whatever you like.
Let's give it one more minute and see if the line gets better, and if not, we're gonna.
I just lit a whole video webinar here from my same office, so unless something.
Yeah, no, but it's probably it's on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a prime time maybe, and this. But one thing that so yeah, because I have my darling that I want to ask you really for people about stretching your time thinking, your team's thinking. But just finish with step 5 in your product.
Yeah, the last step is to lead the change, because especially in large organizations, anytime you want to drive change, you almost inevitably encounter a lot of resistance. Even when the change seems so obvious. I talk in the book about one of the things that I got schooled in this many years ago, early in my consulting career. I was given the assignment to lead digital strategy efforts with Blockbuster. So the Blockbuster is an especially big brand. It was here.
Yeah.
Was just well known in Europe, but that was a company that at one point had I don't know 15,000 video rental stores all over the United States, and I know there were in some other countries. And pretty much, I mean, they're gone now, right? So when you think of how important streaming to the home is, this is a company that just completely failed to take the digital transformation they needed. So the short version of the story is that I was there helping them develop the digital strategy. So obviously, I totally screwed up, right? Like everything we tried to get that company to do, it didn't happen, and ultimately to their detriment. And so one of the things that I learned there is that even though there were many people who supported it, and there was sort of an obviousness to the need for it, there was also powerful forces resisting people who believed in retail stores, and that was their identity. And they said, I'm a retail store person. If you tell me the strategy of the company is to be streaming to people's homes, where does that leave me? No, forget it. We got another way. We're going to recarpet the stores.
People are fighting for their identity, right?
We're going to put display racks for the DVD cases. We're going to get better parking. We're going to figure out how to make these stores better, because I'm not letting these stores go, because that's my identity.
Yeah.
So, of course, we both come out of the Tony Robbins world. And so one of the things that Tony says is that the strongest force in the human personality is the need to stay consistent with your own identity. And what I observed is that exists at a company level too. If a company, you see classic examples like Kodak, right? Kodak was a film company, right? And they invented the digital camera. They invented it at Kodak. They have the first patents. Not only that, they brought to market the first digital camera. But they did it half-heartedly, because there were all these forces in Kodak that didn't want digital cameras. Why? Because digital cameras don't use film. And they were film people. Their whole mindset was film. We sell film at Walgreens and other places. That's our business. So when you have these forces of resistance, it can be very, very challenging. So so that fifth track is using all the techniques that go into great detail in the book. And how do you lead that change to persuade people, to get them aligned, to bring them along, to essentially get a large organization to go down a path where there's some uncertainty and things can be scary. There's financial uncertainty and career uncertainty and how you do that. So those are the 5 steps.
Yeah, so that's amazing. I would love to continue the conversation. There's so much that you write also on thinking outside the box. Actually, you have 5 boxes, in helping organization develop their creativity and stretch their team thinking, and what are the reasons for resisting change, and so much more. I want to ask you about this, and it's so useful, I think, for many companies here. Maybe we can make another appointment and continue the conversation, and hopefully for a better line on this. It would be great if you'd like to come at the future time to continue on this.
Sure.
Right. And can I post about your book? Where is it, on Amazon, or where?
The book is coming later this year, but the first chapter is available online for free. So anyone who would like a copy of the first chapter of the book, you can go to from.agency/chapter.
Can you post a comment, or it's just me that I can?
Sure. Let's see. Let's see. How do I do that? Private chat. Do you mind? I actually don't see where it says live comments.
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna post it actually after the live, after we end the broadcast. I'm gonna post the link under the comments. Okay, so people can get the first chapter for free. Okay, and I would love to continue the conversation. I would love to continue the conversation with a better line, but this is, we are so grateful for the technology, and sometimes it just sucks, but it is what it is. And okay, so we're gonna stop for now, for today. We're gonna stop now, and let's continue the conversation at the later date. Thank you so much, Howard, for great insight. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Stay healthy and safe.